So today I thought I would talk about, I don't try to talk about like rubbish films on my channel. I like to keep it quite positive. But I did recently watch a film on Netflix. I know a lot of people have already covered it, but I thought I'd just sort of chuck my 2 cents into it, I guess, and talk about this Netflix film. So the film is called After. I think it's almost kind of laughably bad. I remember my partner came in and saw maybe like 5 minutes of the film and thought it was terrible, and it's terrible. It's not great. So it's based on a Wattpad story. If people know what that is. It's sort of, I don't know, how do I explain what Wattpad is? Wattpad is kind of almost like a journal, I guess. You sort of write your own kind of stories on it, you can sort of base them on whatever, fiction, I don't know, your own personal experiences. You know, a lot of people write sort of quite a lot of fan fiction on there, like about sort of fandoms, Harry Potter, all that sort of thing. And this film is actually based on a Wattpad story that somebody wrote about, I think, don't quote me on this, I think it's a Harry Styles fan fiction that they wrote, changed the names and made a book out of, and I think there's another 2 books, apart, not including the one that they've made a film of. I'm pretty sure there's another 2 books. There's plenty of content if they ever decide to make another film. They shouldn't, but yeah, so it's about this girl. It's really bad that I don't remember their names at all. I watched the film, it was probably about a week ago now, but I watched the film and none of the characters were even remotely memorable to me. I want to say, oh, the main boy is called Hardin, I think, and I've got no idea what the girl's name was called. Tess, was that it? Tessa, maybe? But yeah, so she sort of is kind of sheltered, I guess, as a child, and she goes off to college and she's got her own little boyfriend at home, and her mum is super overprotective for her. So she goes and she sort of meets this Hardin boy, who I guess is kind of like the bad boy, you know, bad influence on her. And the way they sort of portray it, almost like, I haven't read the novel, but I've sort of, you know, seen snippets and bits and pieces of it. It's kind of like a teenager's version of 50 Shades of Grey, without all like the extremities of that book. But yeah, they sort of portray it as it's like, oh, so scandalous sort of thing. But judging from the film, like, it really isn't. I can't remember if it was a 15 or a 12, but I've seen, like, you know, worse things in other films. Like, you know, it's sort of made to be like this big taboo, but she's really doing nothing wrong in the film. You know, I mean, I guess she cheats on her boyfriend, which is not great. But sort of after their relationship kind of breaks down, there's going to be loads of spoilers in this video, by the way. But after their relationship breaks down and the mum is sort of disapproving of him, like she's never actually met him firstly, she's got really no reason to like not like him. This video is probably going to be all over the place in terms of sort of plot and stuff. So yeah, he originally kind of pursues her because they play Truth or Dare at a party, you know, typical college party, and she gets Dare to kiss him and she refuses to kiss him, and then he's sort of, I guess like intrigued by that. You sort of find out later in the film that he almost sort of did it as a dare, because somebody dared him, like, oh, I bet you can't get her to fall in love with you, sort of thing, and he says he can do it, and then he does it. But then of course he sort of develops actual feelings for her. It's very, very cliched. And like none of the characters are 3-dimensional at all. They all sort of felt just one note. Hardin is just this kind of bad boy. He doesn't really have anything else to his character apart from that, you know, he's sort of a bit of a rebel and he sort of doesn't like playing by the rules kind of thing. And Tess is kind of just like, you know, a good mummy's girl. That is literally all that is to her character. There's a couple of other sort of supporting characters in it. She has like a best friend that, like, it's never really made clear if he's sort of interested in her at all, or he's hardly in the film. I think he's probably in the film for maybe 15 minutes in total, and he doesn't at all add nothing to the film. But yeah, he adds nothing to the film. See, I feel really bad because I don't like kind of, you know, I feel really bad because I don't like criticising other people's work, because obviously people have worked really hard on this film. It just didn't hit the mark for me. There's been a lot of sort of Netflix original films that are in the same sort of genre of these kind of like teeny kind of, I guess, 80s-ish films that have actually been really good. Like To All the Boys I Loved Before is like a really great film. For, you know, they're not like super deep or anything, but you know, for sort of a nice like chick flick film that you can throw on, that's quite a good film. There's a couple of others I can't remember off the top of my head, but that have been really good. But this one just, I don't even know what about it. I think it was like, it's going to sound really bad, but I think the acting wasn't great. The characters really didn't have like that much emotion. Like the actress that played Tessa wasn't too bad. But the guy that played Hardin, he just was so like flat and one note for the whole film that I just couldn't get invested in him at all. It just did nothing for me. I didn't care at all about their relationship. They just sort of, you know, they was stay away from him sort of thing. But we never really sort of found out why she was meant to stay away from him. He just sort of, like, he had a lot of mood swings, definitely. He sort of went from really liking her to sort of being like, no, don't come near me sort of thing. But he didn't really seem to have kind of like any real reason for everybody to be so sort of wary of him. He had a bit of like an anger problem, but that was sort of the closest thing they gave him to any form of character backstory. And you know, we didn't find out that he'd like committed some really big crime in the past, or he was really violent in the past to like another girlfriend. He just seemed like everybody sort of thought he was a bad guy, so they sort of made him a bad guy. I think the thing I hate the most about it is just that it was just boring. It was really, really boring. It kind of felt like nothing had really happened through the film. They sort of have their little, you know, introduction at the beginning of this little party. Then we kind of see them kind of, you know, flirting with the idea of maybe getting together, and you know, he's kind of influencing her to do not even bad things. They sort of break into the library together, and then they, you know, get together. She cheats on her boyfriend. You know, she obviously breaks up with the boyfriend. The mum finds out and isn't happy. She then finds out that, you know, that he did it for the dare, and he says, oh no, I did it because I love you, blah blah blah, and all that sort of stuff. And she sort of, I guess, forgives him at the end, and she kind of reconciles with the mum and the ex-boyfriends. You know, they stay friends, and the mum kind of forgives her for dating this bad boy. And then at the ending was kind of weird as well, because they sort of don't talk for a while, and the sort of the reconciliation is kind of made up with this essay he writes. They've got to write an essay about what true love is or something. It's something to Pride and Prejudice. And he writes the essay, and the university tutor gives it to her, and they sort of read it out. And it's him kind of saying like, oh, you know, I'm sorry about all this, blah blah blah, I love you, all that, you know, all that stuff. And at the end she sort of walks to this like, I guess wooded area. They sort of had their first kiss there. And they sort of sit down, but we don't actually see them making up. They sort of sit down together, and then the film ends. So there's no actual real concrete resolution to it. We just sort of, as audience members, have to assume that, you know, they made up and I guess continued being boyfriend and girlfriend. So yeah, like I said before, there is a sequel to this film, or not to the film, to the book series. I don't know if they'll make the next one. I'm almost kind of want them to make the next one just to kind of see where the story goes, because I'm not going to read the books. Like, I love reading, but I'm not going to sit and read those books if they're not very good. If you have read them, let me know if they are any good, and maybe I will get around to reading them. But I am just kind of intrigued to see where it goes, and whether, you know, maybe it actually does, the next one is better. I don't know. Let me know if it is better. Thoughts. I know this isn't really a coherent review, but I just sort of wanted to just chat about it and put out how I feel about it to the world. Maybe I will start talking about sort of films that aren't as good, because I don't really like to be quite very negative on this channel. I like to sort of talk about the positives and, you know, the best bits of films, and, you know, I will like chuck in what I didn't like about films, but doing a sort of a review that's just purely negative is, you know, I don't know. But, you know, if you want me to review bad, I do enjoy, but, you know, those kind of so bad it's a good film. So if you want me to sort of review that kind of thing and, you know, still do the good reviews as well, then comment down below and I'll, you know, do one of those every now and again. But yeah, that was just my quick thoughts. I just thought I'd say how I felt about the film. And yeah, that's all my thoughts on After. It was fine. It was pretty bad, but you know, it wasn't too long. It was only like an hour and a half, so I guess not much of my time lost. But yeah, so that's everything I thought. That's my thoughts on the film. And I will see you in whatever the next video I decide to make is. Bye!